Hello, boys, and we're back. I don't have Wes to distract me this week, so I didn't crack up. So that's a good thing. We're back with another episode of the MMA Analysis. Wes is literally in a shit show. Maybe we'll touch on that later. But we got the other suspects. We got two Canadians and Tennessee's finest. It's not Barry. It's Lance?
Then it's not Tennessee's
Yeah,
finest.
it's the second best.
Not. Yeah,
second best.
I am clearly Tennessee's finest.
He's the son of the architect.
Barry's too busy calling into the Lord of the Rings casting call.
Yes, I did see that.
The architect's son. It's understandable. You know, the master and commander.
Art Vandelay?
Maybe.
Nothing, not a Seinfeld guy. Okay, move on.
No, well, no, I mean,
You've
already asking about your forearms, Lance, in the chat.
You've lived in New York or around New York, and
I always preferred Curb. I just do. I think it's a better show.
Well, that's incorrect. And even if you like, how can you really like Curb but not like Seinfeld?
It's fine. I just think it's like it's the light version of it.
The light version of it is the OG.
No cursing, no nudity, no nonsense, no badger.
Will Smith don't cuss in his rhymes.
Right. I mean, do you like Entourage or you like Scrubs? I mean, come on.
Scrubs, obviously.
Scrubs. That's not even. Are you saying you liked Entourage more than Scrubs?
Yeah.
I feel like watching random boobs.
No, are you like so you're like the 15-year-old who's like, ooh, I like this show better because there was a booby and an F word.
No, but I like my comedy more raw. That's fine. That's what it is.
Scrubs is
Jay likes it
raw.
You heard it here first.
I mean, so do most men, I think.
Do you like raw better than delirious?
Well, I'm not going there right now.
All right,
we're back.
Yeah.
what do you guys want to talk about? Juliana Rosa, well, Juicy J.
I'm ready for some erotic fan fiction this weekend.
Yeah, he gets hilariously slept. I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
What was the one? It was a couple years ago. What was really funny? I'm gonna look it up. Oh, the Devontae Smith one.
Oh,
that was a funny one. Oh, the Julio Arce one was pretty hilarious.
They're all pretty good.
They're all.
He's like almost Vic tier in how he gets amazingly knocked out.
I don't get how he keeps. I don't. How does he keep getting back? He's.
Who are we talking
They
about?
need warm
Juicy
bodies,
J.
Lance. They want to get a highlight reel.
Everybody wants to fight, Lance. That's
I feel
why.
like you could get better warm bodies than Juicy J. Like I'll jump in there. Like
He's lost 3 straight after getting into the UFC after winning on Contender Series.
The fights are entertaining, Lance.
And he's also losing.
There's entertainment
to
again.
guys, I guess.
There's entertainment in taking the fall.
I mean, Sean Woodson sucks, but you can't bet Rosa. Sean Woodson. If you go judging by straight appearance, is Sean Woodson the worst fighter in UFC history?
No, Tony Puddings.
Tony Puddings looks like a fighter. Just
no, he does not.
He looks like a
barroom fighter.
Tamden McCrory.
No, it's got to be. Brad, have you seen Sean Woodson?
I'm looking at his picture right now. He looks not as goofy as Tamden McCrory.
I don't know.
McCrory's Canadian, right?
No.
He's
Midwest born and bred, Jay. Come on.
Sean Woodson
that Midwest inflated.
Oh yeah. Iowa record.
Sean Woodson, he looks like the most unathletic person I've ever seen. And if you seen his tattoos,
he was born ready. He was. I have
bigger pecs.
Conversation, right?
Who?
Cody McKenzie has to be in this conversation. I feel.
No, he looks like a guy that would get in a lot of fights.
See that?
Yeah, bar fights.
The bar. If we're talking, I guess bar fights he could fit in there.
Yeah.
I'd have to think about this more.
I think I could take Sean Woodson.
You would get fucking slept.
I'm trying to
think
of some of the
Albini?
really shitty Midwest guys that showed up back in the day.
Albini was up for me. I mean, dude in a diaper.
I mean he's got the tattoos to match his profession lines.
They're really bad though. The one that says "Born Ready" with the $sign under it, and
Ryan Hall doesn't fit the part either.
Is that New York? Like, what is that?
Is that the New York skyline? What the fuck
I don't, what is that?
No, he's from St. Louis, Missouri.
It looks like
why
the
would
first
you
level
not
of
do that?
Rampage, the video game.
The NES version.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
He's top 5 least athletic I've ever seen.
That's a conversation I'll have to think about for another day.
Tanner
we talk-
Boser also in that conversation.
Where did I say he trained at?
Shaved Bears.
Shaved Bears MMA. Like that's a guy you trust.
It's
with your
gotta be a
cat.
campground.
He's also born ready.
Is that the new version of the garage? I mean, fighting on
That place is
campground
that's
champion.
a 20-minute drive from me where he's training.
No.
Have you been
You
there?
should go there.
You should totally
No.
go there. Why
I
not?
used
It's
it.
20 minutes.
I would go there if I was you.
You should see the crew that he's got in there.
Okay,
Pretty
tell
good.
us. Who's he got in there?
Fuck, who was it?
We got all day.
Do I have to bet Felipe Lins? Did you just talk me into betting Felipe Lins?
Yes.
Because I bet him last
Rohskopf.
fight and I wasn't happy about it. But Andre Arlovsky, former, contender,
Present contender.
in that weight class, he's probably
Andre
top 10.
Arlovsky's the heavyweight decision champion of the world,
What
He's-
is Arlovsky
he's
still
born.
has to be ranked, right?
No,
I imagine so.
I don't
What?
think he is.
I cannot
What?
name 15 heavyweights that in the UFC. Johnny Villante.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Top
Johnny-
10.
Fucking Johnny Villante.
Arlovsky is not ranked.
Oh, that's a shame.
What?
Number
That's
15
criminal.
is Fabricio Verdum is ranked after that great performance last fight.
Whoa,
Don't worry, he's gonna lose, and then fucking what's his nuts is gonna be in there. Gustafson.
Well, Rumble's been tweeting
Oh.
that he's close to back. So
No,
I think
then Dana came out and said he's been missing.
Rumble responded to that and was like, "I've been training. What do you want me to do?" And he's been posting like pictures of him training. Like, is Rumble as soon as he starts? Is he? Where do you rank him? 4th in heavyweight?
I mean, I think he could beat Derek Lewis pretty easily.
That was my bar there. Like you
That's
put
who's
him right
number
after
4.
Curtis Blaydes. He wrecks Curtis Blaydes. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, Blades did not look.
Blades
That
comes
was-
in like a takedown like this, and then it's just uppercut death. I think Rumble is. I would rank him the second best heavyweight in the world right now, behind Johnny Villante.
Oh, Johnny Villante.
It's gonna be a good show.
God,
Why did Glover go? Oh no, sorry. The way they've got the rankings laid out on the UFC site now is terrible.
Yeah, it's garbage.
everything about the
makes
UFC is
it-
terrible.
Darren Till went down a spot at middleweight, but the down a spot is right beside Glover's number 5.
No,
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh.
How about Josh Emmett not moving in the rankings? That was fun.
But they sent out the memo to say to move him.
That was so bad. Oh, that was bad. Hey, Tim Elliott went up a spot after that good
After his loss?
fight versus Brandon Royval.
It's always funny when that happens.
That's flyweight, baby.
And
How
like,
many people are voting on these rankings nowadays? Are we down to like 6 MMA journalists that
I don't know.
vote?
They clicked on a bunch of they tried to find links to some of the places that they say that do the rankings, and there's
They're not
just,
even
like,
real.
They
the
don't even
webpage.
exist. Is one of them
The
bet?
webpage just doesn't
Is
exist.
one of
You
them
can
bet?
buy it.
Is one of them bet MMA.tips?
It is not.
dude, I was like, have you looked at the featherweight rankings?
back,
It,
baby.
it might be the worst I've ever seen. So, Jose Aldo is ranked. He's not even in that weight class.
What division is this? Is
Ryan
Featherweight.
Hall is 2 spots above Shane Burgos.
that featherweight?
Yeah,
Technically, 1. Burgos is tied with Sadiq Youssef.
Yeah,
for
they're both
14th.
14th somehow.
like Jeremy Stevens. I mean, my boy, but he's lost like 17 straight fights, and he's ranked 9th.
Yusuf.
He's only lost the guys ahead of him though.
Somehow Edson Barbosa isn't ranked at featherweight,
even though he beat.
even though he
Bantam-
beat
or
the
no,
shit
sorry,
out of
it's featherweight.
Dan
And
Ige.
Ige's 10. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate everything.
It's a great division though.
What the fuck is a David Vorak? He's ranked at
What?
flyweight. I don't know who that is.
I don't. Has he ever fought?
David Dvorak.
I don't. That does not seem like a real name.
Isn't Raleigh and Paiva the guy that played M. Bison in Street Fighter?
I remember. I think I seen Paiva fight once. He's okay.
I
Beating
don't-
Bruno Silva gets you ranked number 15 in the UFC at flyweight.
I don't know who Bruno Silva is.
Well, bantamweight's the
exactly.
best division in MMA. So.
Cowboy Cerrone just passed Gregor Gillespie in the rankings
well,
at lightweight.
Lightweight.
Where do you think those guys would rank in terms of their outdoorsman rankings?
I
Oh,
think-
definitely Gregor.
Oh yeah, that dude lives outdoors.
I just want to
Literally.
be like
Have
when
a
we see-
house.
so when we see rankings changes like this, right? Just to figure it out. Gregor hasn't fought in a long time. Cowboy fought at welterweight a few months ago and lost. And this week the guy was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and flip Gregor and Cowboy.
Like certain rankings should be locked.
Yeah.
Like if there's
I-
no activity,
Yeah, nothing
You're
changes.
not
Don't even
allowed to
vote
change
on
your
it.
ranking.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
this week, you only vote on bantamweight, featherweight, and light heavyweight or something. Whatever it is, that's it. You have no reason to vote for these things.
Oh,
Yeah.
Felice Herrig just moved up 2 spots.
She just got a fight announced, so I guess therefore we got to vote her up in the
That's
rank.
exactly
How,
why.
how does someone that hasn't fought in 2 years just randomly jump up 2 spots in the rankings?
Because they have a fight coming, so then the fucking
above
dumbass
Amanda-
voters are
Wait,
like,
Oh
"Oh
yeah, I
that
guess I
person
forgot about
fucking
her. She's 8th in the
probably be higher."
Yeah.
Like above Amanda Rebus. Like
and
I'm not-
Angela Hill, who
he
just had a
seems good.
super competitive fight with Gadelia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so let's just move
Doesn't
Felice.
Anymore, unfortunately. R.I.P.
Ridiculous.
God, Lauren Murphy ranked 4th
Derek,
in the world.
yes, Dan
Reebok
Idge is going to
better
get
than all
smoked by Calvin Guitar. That's going to be glorious.
Tater is gonna fucking wreck that dude.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
All right, let's talk about last week's card.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It happened.
Nailed it, Jay.
Can we talk about this first fight and what happened? I guess we could spend a few minutes on this Austin Hubbard and Lance's
I still
guy,
haven't seen it, so
I was
Act-
impressed.
Rohskopf, whatever you say it. Doesn't matter because I guess he wasn't allowed to come out in the 3rd round. Is that
That's
what
not
happened?
No.
he
what
was
happened?
allowed.
Did you watch the
quit.
fights?
I barely saw some of these fights. It was,
There was
Father's
like-
Day week. I was hanging out with my dad.
There was like 75 stories about it. He refused to get off the stool in between the 2nd and 3rd round, and his corner was trying to talk him into fighting and not being a bitch. And then they stopped the fight. I think the best comment I saw was, I think it was Dan Hooker, and he goes, how do you start in the UFC not knowing you're made of marshmallows? Yeah, and people were getting mad at the corner, and they're like all this, and the guy wasn't like pushing him out. He was like, no, he was like, I don't want to fight. He's like, you can do this, you can win, get the takedown, you can win. He was like, I don't want to fight, and he was like, you like trying to get
He
his
said
mind
it 8
right.
times though.
So
before-
what? It's
before his
dude.
corner did. I mean,
I don't care.
He was
That corner
done.
did what he spoke, and then fucking Anthony, 2 brain cell Smith was like, that's embarrassing. This isn't blood sport. Like, excuse me, motherfucker, you about died 2 months ago. And
and then
Rohskopf wasn't-
complained about
Yeah.
the stoppage.
Rohskopf wasn't hurt. He was mentally broken, and
Yeah.
I understand. Like
He looked
I under-
gassed.
He was getting
badly.
fucked up at the end of that round.
but he wasn't Anthony Smith on the verge of death.
He didn't
He
look
had
like
been
he
Getting
was
beaten up for 10 minutes straight.
Yeah, he was getting hit by like a F- on Jay's rating scale. Like he wasn't gonna die in there, and I had no problem with the corner. Like as a coach, I would want my coach in my face telling me to stop being a fucking pussy and put on my big boy pants and get in there. And I saw nothing wrong with the corner. And if he wants to quit in the stool, but that's the end of Max Rohskopf, who
Write
coming
him
into
off,
this
Lance.
was
Write
a
him off. That's fine with me.
a very
I hope-
highly touted prospect, a very good wrestler.
Mhm.
I was shocked by the outcome. I was shocked by the quit, especially out of a guy who wrestled since he was a little kid all the way through college. It was surprising, but he said he had a bunch of injuries coming in.
5 days notice. 6.
Still, you
career
go out
fight.
there.
Some people don't like
you-
getting punched in the face.
You go out there and try. You lose. Go out there and try. Like
I mean,
I'd
what's
rather
the
him go
point
out
in
there
getting
and
knocked out. He had 0% chance of winning going into
Takes
that
him down.
third round.
Wrestle,
He
grind.
could not wrestle. He was absolutely gassed. He had injuries coming to the fight.
His
an
wrestling is good
adrenaline
enough
dump.
that even being gassed,
Yes.
he could have
I
gotten
don't
a
think
takedown.
so, man. Did you see all that second round? Like he got early takedowns after that. He could not get anything. He was getting just absolutely lit
Yeah,
up.
so
could
he had
barely
a
stand.
nice little rest on the stool there. He could have
Yeah.
come out, got a takedown, and just rode it out.
I've never seen a fighter quit in the stool that wasn't badly hurt like that. He was tired.
He was about to be badly hurt,
but
'cause
he
he could not even fucking
still.
stand.
Can you think of a time a fighter quit in the stool when he wasn't like had something broken, was basically forced to quit and just basically say, I don't have it. I'm tired. Have you seen that at this level?
We're not usually seeing
We would see
fighters in the UFC, though. The guy has 5 total fights. He's like 24 years old.
These
guys aren't in the UFC. They're usually on the fucking regional scene.
Have you not anymore? 2020, baby.
I mean, I've never seen something like that where a guy quit, and I don't know why the corner's getting shit. The guy did his fucking job. He tries to get his fighter mentally ready to get in there and try to win the fight and win the third round.
Yeah, to a point, but I mean, after he says he quits after the 5th time.
Yeah, when the doctor walked over,
he did not look like he had no intentions. His body language, he lost.
I would have punched him in the dick and fucking kicked him out there and told him to man up.
No.
Well,
you fight
no
hurt.
sense
you
in
fight
getting
tired.
brain damage when you have 0%.
He's gonna get brain damage from a guy that like hits as hard as my 6-year-old. Come on, Anthony Smith was getting garage shopped up, like almost dying.
Anthony Smith has bleeding up like that a bunch of times, and he knows how to fucking do it. And he's like, also in his mid-30s and has like nothing really left for him.
Regardless, I mean, shit, that was not a fucking beatdown. Like, no one was calling for stoppages. Like,
it was a 10-8 round.
rounds.
It was a 10-8 round.
It was, but he wasn't like. It was a 10-8 round because Rohskopf did nothing. I get it. If the doctor would have stopped it, I wouldn't have said a fucking word. If the corner would have stopped it, I wouldn't have said a fucking word. But I have never seen a fighter in that situation refuse to continue. And I think that's something he will never get over if he ever fights in the UFC again.
Hopefully it motivates him because he's got skills. We saw that in the first round.
No. More people know about him quitting in that fight than watch the actual fight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because of the media attention to it, right?
Yeah. He fucking quit.
He's got that reputation now, so like you'll probably be able to, if he gets another shot in the UFC at some point,
get a cheap
you'll
price
probably be able to get a decent price on him, but it'll be hard to trust him depending on who he's going up against.
Yeah. The sad part is like early.
Did you see that, Lance?
Round,
we Jews scratching our shoulders.
Oh, did
in the stereo there?
It's the guns. Like, the sad part is like you saw some of it in the first round of the skill. His entries are phenomenal into his takedowns. Like he's and that's why I was so excited about a guy like this. But man, he had about 3.5 minutes of cardio and just didn't have the dog in him.
I feel like that's kind of a trend. I mean, we've seen some kind of shitty performances from people that we, thought were going to do a bit better. And I don't know if it's just cardio that they can't. I mean, they're not training like they should be. So I kind of expect us to get pretty like a lesser version of everybody almost.
Yeah. And we can bet against one of them again this week.
Which one's that?
And apparently 20-year-old 6'3" Kay Hansen is supposed to be good, even though she's 6'3".
I don't know who that is.
That's an elite.
I don't know who it is either, but I'm gonna bet against her as a -165 favorite. We'll get there.
So we can skip some of these fights on this last card. Right? Like we're not talking about
Murphy and Modafferi.
No one. The fact that
didn't watch it.
I cashed.
No.
Cashed side and total. That was like the only bets I won this fucking night.
Wow, you bet a women's side. That is stunning.
Warren Murphy.
I did a bunch of women's fights. I bet this to go to decision, and Torres to go to decision, and the other one to go to decision. Not the one that got finished, but the three that went to decision. Yeah. Parlayed them all together, plus 135. Made some money.
Warren Murphy's ranked 4th in the division. That's not enough to cancel the division.
I didn't see Justin James against Frank Camacho. What happened?
Nasty.
I saw that.
That was good. That was
plus
fun.
460 TKO, baby.
God
nice.
Damn.
Yeah, he just came out and like bit
swanging.
Honestly, it's kind of when you look at it's understandable when a guy comes in on super short notice that he's not going to have the gas tank, and every second from when the fight's announced, he's going to spend cutting weight, and he's not going to have that gas tank. And I think guys should learn from this. He went in there, he just bit down his fucking mouthpiece and said, all right, I'm either going to knock this dude out or I'm going to get knocked out. But either way, if I come out like a lunatic, even if I lose, probably going to get another fight. And maybe that's what Rohskopf did have done. Not in the feet. Take him down immediately, go for fucking broke on subs. And if you gas out, sure, go out in your shield. Fuck it. And that's what James did.
Or just quit on your stool.
Or just quit your stool and never get a fight again. One of the two. Either way.
I have to give a shout out to our boy Dan Tom, because I had never seen this guy fight before, and he was like, "Yo, this guy, take him by decision, or not by decision, by TKO," and it was plus 460, and it started off a real good night for me.
Bam.
Yeah.
Dan Tom. Plus
Another fight, Jillian Robertson subbing Courtney Casey, a women's fight that didn't go to distance.
Pound for pound, Canada #1, Jay.
Yep.
Wow.
So,
That's a debate.
you guys are an entire country, and that's the best you got.
I know it's pathetic.
I thought it was the guy in the next fight after that, Marc-Andre Barriault.
Oh my god.
He's
TKO over Pichode. Does he count?
That's about the
Pass.
peak of his level.
Does he count?
I mean,
He's so bad.
Pound
Is
for
he?
pound #4.
Nice. Brad's on the game. He knows. He's got
Whoever
my list.
whoever he fights next is going to beat him.
Yeah, likely. Very, very likely.
I don't know who that is, but
We
that
have
person's gonna win.
a lot of disrespect.
Pichode's done. See ya.
So done.
A lot of disrespect for Tisha Torres. Almost a 2-1 underdog and ran through Van Buren.
The touts couldn't. The touts couldn't fucking handle it. They had to fade Torres, and maybe that's some personal.
Oh, is that what you found out on? Is that what you found on Bet MMA? Is that what you found out on Bet MMA tips?
Yeah,
Did we- Did we all bet Torres?
I
didn't.
had her by
I should've,
decision
Yeah.
at
I
like
had
plus
Torres.
260, I think.
Yeah.
Because like, why would you bet her straight when you can bet her by decision?
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
You got to be a fool to bet her straight when you
free money.
What was
Yeah.
the difference? Like 10 cents?
No, it was
60.
a bunch.
That's a lot.
Wow. What'd you
I
get?
got
Plus two.
Plus 260.
Wow.
That's a lot
Yeah.
given the situation.
I
Yep.
should have done that apparently. I just quickly right before the fight bet Torres at like plus
There you
185,
go.
195, something like that.
In
So.
disappointing news, Clay Guida could not get it done against Bobby Green. Bobby Green
Couldn't.
actually won a third round pretty decisively over Clay. Yikes.
29-28 Clay.
I think it's time Clay's over. Clay's road is over, I think.
He
I think
didn't look I don't think he looked washed in that fight or any
He
different. I thought he fought a guy he couldn't hold down and couldn't beat. Like I didn't think Clay looked
He didn't
much,
get hurt at any point, really.
Yeah,
Like
I didn't watch that fight thinking Clay's washed. I watched that fight thinking Bobby Green's better than Clay Guida. That's all I took out of it.
Anything.
Yeah, I thought Clay.
Bobby
looked
Green's
like,
actually pretty decent when he
Oh, he's
does stuff.
decent.
he did stuff. He was usually he stalks guys and throws his hands up and then
Talks
just
shit.
gets punched and stuff to take
Yeah.
them. This time he was like stalking him and throwing a lot of punches and looked
The
good.
round that he talked shit, he lost, and then he won
Yeah.
the other 2 rounds.
Yep. Such an idiot.
Yep.
But that fight was fun. I actually enjoyed that fight.
Also, I feel like it's not actually, but the little like thumbnail of Bobby Green on Tapology, I'm pretty sure it's a picture of Crazy Horse.
What?
Next fight. Oh, next fight.
What was the next fight? Oh, Jimmy fucking Miller.
Yeah. This
Go.
was a beaut. So Lance, as we talked about last week, like the true professionals that we are, Jim Miller was going to win. And then you were like, hey, what about Jim Miller by submission? So I bet a little bit of Jim Miller by submission at plus 400. And then that went up to plus 572.
Why
And
did
then I
add
was
that?
like, hey, Jim Miller's just going to go for it. So I also bet some Jim Miller round 1 at plus 900. So
Jesus Christ.
that's
Yeah. I went. My big play was soft. I just did under 2.5. Under 2.5
Yeah.
was even money on that fight, and that
was
either way,
weak.
Jim Miller either gets that armbar or he gets fucking
Gets
knocked out in the
smashed
second round.
right after that.
Jimmy fucking Miller is ageless for a guy with a weak handshake. I mean, impressive career. He was born weak, right? Like just a weak, frail little fella. But man,
Well, that's because up until a couple of years ago, he had the Lyme.
that could, maybe he had
Yeah.
like
Pre-Lyme.
Yeah.
when I saw him, that was a long time ago. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
he definitely
he
had
did-
Lyme.
I love that guy. He's
Yes, you do.
one of the more fun fighters to watch. Always root for old Jimmy fucking Miller, and yeah, that was hilarious.
Jimmy
'cause
fucking Miller and
Roberts was
Joey fucking
terrible.
Lozon.
Yeah, fucking whatever.
He ends up winning when people kind of write him off.
Yeah,
and they write him off a lot.
Well, he lost to 4 straight guys, and then he fought Alex White and choked him in a minute.
Oh, I remember that one. Yes, that was people did write him off, and yes, that was a good one. That was like a 2-minute.
But like, look at the dudes that he lost to: Poirier, Pettis,
Scott Holtzman,
Grandpa Trinaldo, and then some shitty guy named Dan Hooker. I don't know who that is.
I've never heard of him.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
me some money, that's for sure.
Like, I don't think Jim Miller is going to be a guy that's ever creeping towards rankings or anything like that. But if you put a young prospect in there who thinks he's tough,
gatekeeper.
Yeah, he is at this point. You know, like don't put him in there.
And the best kind too.
Like don't put him in there versus Bronx. Like don't do that to him. But put him in there with guys like he can beat.
Hey man, he knee-barred Bronx once. He could do it again.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. What Bronx like 20? But yeah, that was fun. That was a fun. We don't get many fun moments right now. That was a fun moment watching Jim Miller finish that.
Yes,
it was.
Okay,
that fight was literally a decade ago. It was 2010.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. And now Drew Bronx is the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
True.
I remember when Jim Miller had won like 8 in a row, and he lost to Ben Henderson, and Henderson just dominated him. I think that was the first Fox card, actually. Interesting.
No.
It was a Fox card, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was UFC Live 5 when he lost to Ben Henderson.
Wasn't even up.
It was a co-main event, though.
Yeah.
It was the same card when Chris Lytle knocked out Dan Hardy. It was that was the same card. That was the same card. That was the same card. Cerrone tapped or beat Bronx.
What was the main event?
Lytle versus
Chris
Hardy.
Lytle knocking out
Lytle
Dan
and Hardy.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. Wow.
Oh no, he subbed him.
Or choke, yeah. It was sub, yeah. I was thinking of the
Hardy, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, Bilal Muhammad did the job.
It was nice of him. He put the guy out. I know retirement.
Bilal Muhammad is very.
He does the job though.
It's more like Bilal Muhammad.
He's not good.
Yeah. The most exciting fights he's in is when people better than him are beating the shit out of him.
He's not
tough enough to stay in there.
Yeah, he's not gonna.
He's not gonna
beat really good guys. He's not gonna beat ranked guys. He's not even gonna make it fun versus shitty guys. At least when you're a guy who's like decent enough to win a lot of fights, you at least should be able to finish like really shitty people. You can't do that either. But he won, so
I'm gonna link back to this exact moment when we're talking about one of our fights on this week's card.
A guy who can't finish hands?
No, you'll see. With Bilal Muhammad specifically.
Johnny Blanche?
That's called a tease. That's called a tease. That keeps the listeners in there.
Well, we better move on. We're skipping Rock
Hear what that's all about. Woof. I mean, this was not a surprise. Gym teacher's like 43 years old.
By the way, after the Jim Miller fight, and the Josh Emmett Burgos fight, how bad were the rest of the fights in this card? Muhammad Good, Pennington, whatever her fucking name is, and Blaydes Volkov. Terrible fights.
Well, we knew they weren't going to be
All
good.
of them were
I don't know what you expected.
I expected Blaydes to get that tall Russian dude out of there.
Yeah,
he told you on Twitter what he was going to do.
Yeah, but I thought that meant take him down, punch him in the face, and knock him out.
Yeah, take him down and beat him up, not take him down and lay on him.
Not have like a semi-heart attack in between rounds 3 and 4 and then barely be able to survive. He almost got knocked out by oxygen. That was bad.
Yeah, that was not great. We don't need to talk about that too much. But Emmett and Burgos, easily the fight of the night.
Torn ACL.
That's not good.
10 seconds.
A bunch of stuff
We were
too,
not
didn't
right
we?
here. We were
way wrong. I mean,
we weren't way wrong.
I mean, were we not though? Because
pretty
what
wrong.
if he didn't?
Burgos was a significant favor heading into round 3, and then I think he got dropped in the 3rd, and it completely changed the fight.
Twice.
Well,
Yeah.
because I think he was dropped the second time because the first one happened.
Well, I think the other part too is we were even more wrong because Emmett tore his ACL in the first.
And
Emmett beat his ass with a torn ACL. What if he had 2 intact ACLs? I feel like that fight wouldn't even have been competitive.
just expected more from Burgos. Like the offense was pretty good from Burgos, but he just was cool with just getting fucking teed off on. Like
this is the same.
Like
This is
he is a lot of times. He is
So bad.
So that's on us for just looking past that and just looking at the offense and the skill and being like, yeah, he'll come in and take a few shots, and he took the wrong ones in the third round.
He loves getting punched in the face.
He does.
More than anyone in MMA currently, which is
James Vick.
He might like being punched more.
Oh, Bobby Green called out James Vick. And
Fine.
how did Bobby Green know James Vick is currently employed by the UFC? Because that's a stretch. Hasn't Vick got knocked out 4 straight fights?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Is it 3 straight?
Maybe
Is it 3 straight fights? I know I bet
Do you
against him
think
by
he can get
knockout all
knocked
fights.
out 4 fights in a row and actually like do the YMCA in sequence?
He was able to survive against Paul Felder, but Gaethje knocked him out. Felder beat him up. Hooker knocked him out. Nico Price knocked him out.
How is he employed? He just lost 4 fights, 3 of them by finish.
Well, he
How
hasn't
is he
fought
still in
since
the UFC?
October. Maybe he's not employed.
Yeah, I want who's someone at 170 we could give him.
Platinum.
Jeff Neal.
Jeff
That's
Neal.
just mean.
Yes. Yes.
Mine
That's
too.
well, Jeff Neal just took a waiter job, apparently.
Yeah.
Because the
exactly.
UFC won't
He
give
needs
him a fight.
I'm trying to look out for people.
Yeah, I like the Jeff Neal idea. Who else is there?
Randy Brown.
Not good
Yeah,
enough.
he
Jay.
just got a fight.
Yeah,
I think
he
I
just
saw
got a fight.
him. Yeah, he had an announcement.
Platinum Mike after he wins this week.
What about the winner of Usman Burns?
What about Covington?
Covington. Masvidal. There's some good ones there. We can
Masvidal's available.
Yeah.
Is GSP still thinking about coming back? GSP Vic.
Condit
Who
might
would
be
knock
around
him
to
out,
have a fight or two.
Do I have,
Oh,
do
don't
I have
put him
any?
in
Do I
there
have
with
any
Condit.
beer? I am low
That
on.
might be very
on
sad
beer.
for a lot of people. If
I have a beer. I'll trade you.
You know what would actually be
you're a little
like,
far
real
from
fun?
What else
Is
would
Pettis against Vic.
I can make it happen.
No, it needs
I'm
to
down
be
for
something
that.
that's clear. Vic getting slept, like no
Yeah,
doubt.
Still sleep him.
They could just refight Gaethje. Why not?
Pettis. No. Jay,
Nah,
come on.
Pettis won't
Gaethje's
knock
doing
him
real
out.
things.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Anyway, what do we have next? What else is going
What
on?
about
We're out of
He's
claws.
out of claws. Out of claws.
what about Warley?
Tragedy.
Oh, no,
Warley, there we go.
I don't know how
Is
Watch
that guy
that.
still around?
old.
What other fights do you have to talk about on this shitty card?
No,
That's
the
it.
main
The
event.
main event.
no.
Blaydes.
He wrestled them.
We
and
need
it
someone
sucked.
No.
in the top. Someone. in the-
Uh-oh, Lance, you're too
in the
far
top
away from the
5.
modem.
Yeah, Lance has shitty Wi-Fi.
Do they still have
Oh,
board on date? How?
For all the stuff he says, he can't even get a modem that works.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, that fight was worse for Blaydes than like getting knocked out by Ngannou in 42 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, who else is there to fight though? He just Volkov was the only guy he hasn't really lost to or beat at heavyweight in the top 10. So
I'm just saying it was a bad look for him.
yeah, and I mean, there's not much for him. I guess he could fight Derek Lewis if Derek Lewis beats
damn it.
Oleinik.
I don't know.
That's kind of the only guy.
Derek Lewis is gonna get choked dead by Oleinik.
I don't really like to
From
watch.
Mount.
I really don't enjoy Derek Lewis fights.
That's stupid, Jay. That's stupid.
I like to see him chat afterwards, but I really don't enjoy his fights.
Why? He gets his ass kicked, and then he kills someone in the 3rd round, and then West cries, and then we laugh at West.
BMR said Razak Al-Hassan against Vic.
Oh,
fighting somebody.
Razak Al-Hassan? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be someone in the top 5.
He's fighting some fucking random dude on Fight Island on the 50th.
Yeah, I saw that. Why does it have
Nope.
to be someone at welterweight? Can't we put like
Middleweight?
Costa
Yeah,
Or
why not?
YOLO.
Little drunk.
or YOLO? YOLO versus Vic.
Legit matchup right there.
I'm struggling over here.
I mean, Rafael dos Anjos is probably, or okay, Luque, perfect.
Luque's got to fight.
Luque would be perfect to knock out Vic.
I think he's fighting Randy Brown.
Oh
Yeah,
no, it's Corona.
That's not good for Randy Brown.
Mm,
You got
that's
Corona
a hit,
hit?
though.
I have a Corona.
I mean, what about Cannonier? Perfect.
I hate Corona.
Okay, yeah, this is run its course.
Just fucking beat it to death.
Yeah, went too far.
Well, the next card, also at the Apex, it's definitely
Also
not
shitty.
the world.
Yeah, it's fucking rough.
Apparently, women's atom weights are on this card.
Sure.
News to everyone.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't that one chick like 8 years old?
One's 35 and the other one's 20.
Hold on, that Asian chick's 35?
I know she doesn't look it.
She's actually from Arlington, Texas, Lance.
The big time.
Yes, I know a lot of people named Jin from Arlington, Texas.
Hey, it happens.
Do you
This
guys
chick
remember
lost to
Jin that
Jody
used to be on
Esteban.
Freestyle Friday on BET?
Nope.
Oh,
She
come
has-
on.
She has a degree in nuclear medicine, Brad, whatever that is.
So why
Hey.
is she making $8K a fight?
Because she went to Amarillo College.
They don't
Because she
even
lives in
offer
Texas, so they don't hire scientists.
And then went to something called Midwestern State. And
They had
got,
they had like 6,500 cases today or something. I saw like a thing from the governor. Someone's like, "We're trying to get sports with people in this crowd." So I'm like, "Yeah, let's get them." Sounds like a tremendous idea, Texas. Keep it up.
they're good.
There you go, Lance. Rumble can cut down to 170 and
Again?
face Vic.
Yes, or Rumble says he's going to be 170,
Yeah,
and
just
they
comes in
go
at
up
Comes
to
190.
in at 187.
194.
He comes in at like 220, and they're like, "Vic, we're going to cut you if you don't take this fight." So they force him to do it. Yeah. All right,
There we
let's,
go.
And then he bets on himself again. Yeah, that's great.
let's talk fights. What do we
Do you know
got?
how
We
good
went
this
too far,
this
and then we
Fra-
came back again.
Do you know how
we-
good this Frey chick is?
No.
She got knocked out. Do you remember who Co He Ham was?
Yes,
Like 5
I
foot
know,
two?
I know that is. Yes.
Ham knocked her out in the first round. That's how good this chick is.
I don't know who those people are.
2.5 years ago.
She also lost to something called Hamasaki.
It sounds like a good person.
She was actually like back when I used to moderately know what was happening in women's MMA. She was actually pretty good.
Who, Seo Ham?
No, Hamasaki.
Yes, that's true.
All right, let's do it.
Let's not talk about it. Let's move on to another fight. I don't know.
We're not breaking this fight down. I had like a 10-minute write up on this.
You don't write things down.
I am gonna bet on not the 20-year-old minus 165 favorite. I'm gonna bet on the other chick.
What's the other chick's name?
Yu Frey.
Jin Yu
Frey.
Frey.
Hey, what is super atom weight?
Super atom weight or atom weight?
95 pounds.
This says
Wow.
Atom weight Atom weight's 105.
Well, this
Super
girl fought at
atom weight.
Jin Jibla fought at super atom weight.
Is that 110?
That's not a real thing.
I don't think
Ah,
that's real weight.
Where
It
did
must
she
be
fight
110.
What is
That's
40? What is 49 kilograms?
Oh, that was over in Rizzo.
Brad,
That doesn't count.
What's
That
49
is
kilograms?
108 pounds.
8.
All right. So
Oh,
this
lame.
chick just fought at 108 pounds.
Why couldn't they just say a catch weight is a 105-pound fight and they didn't make weight? Why do we got to make it its own weight class?
No, because Jay, everywhere else in the country or in the world, then your country
Oh, again.
uses kilograms
Yes.
as a
Brad,
form
let me
of
ask you a
measurement.
question. Who is leading the world in coronavirus cases?
Well, you mean today or
Nailed it.
overall?
Nobody beats us in COVID-19.
You guys are the winners.
Brazil wants a piece of the title.
They
Yeah,
They're
have.
coming for it.
I think that's actually the cause for the spike recently. We saw Brazil trying to make some gain. We were like, open up the country, Brazil's coming. Sporting event, fans, NASCAR. Yeah, let's go. And we're back. We're back.
Well, the good thing is if you guys keep it up more than like a round or two against Brazil, the Brazilians are all just going to gas, and you're going to take it over in the third round for the home stretch.
Yep.
As long as they don't fuck with Dubronx. Like,
Oh, yeah. But he's already in America, so you're good.
no, he's not. He's in Sao Paulo.
Oh, yeah, that fight was in Brazil.
He hangs there.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's not
We
good.
should- we
What
should-
would you do if Dubronx got sick, Lance?
I would fly out and make sure.
Give him your lung. Give him do a lung transplant.
No, definitely do blood.
I mean, I would help him out.
Lance would absolutely give blood to Dubronx.
Yeah, I don't know what blood type I am, but we can test her out.
Yeah.
I think that's.
It's Brazil.
I'm
They
sure
probably-
between the four of us, we can help Dubronx out.
But Lance would really be would be at the front of the line, I think.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
my best friend. Oh, Brazil beat us by like 1,800 today. We went all the way up to 39,000 cases, and we still couldn't beat Brazil.
Oh, man. I said you guys were going to hit 40K one day this week.
There has
Texas,
only Tuesday. Or it's Wednesday.
At this point, every day, who has more cases today, USA or Brazil? I bet you every day.
Brazil ain't got shit in us. We're going phase 4 in Texas starting tomorrow. Movie theaters, amusement parks. We're fucking opening in Texas. Don't come at us like this. We're number 1.
Perfect.
America.
They want that herd immunity there. I mean, that's all he knows about herding in Texas. They've been doing it for centuries.
Texas.
So, Jay, if not for the one day where Sao Paulo added their 55,000 cases, today was the highest case day, right?
I'd have to look back at that. They've had a couple. I think they've had a couple around that number. Yeah,
there was a lot of cases. All right, let's talk fights again.
Yeah, real fights.
You mean the total of the world, bro? I thought you meant Brazil by itself. Yes, I think it is though. Number 1. Yep.
Woo!
Nailed it.
Blame the
high score.
South. Well, yeah. Anyway, Jordan Griffin and Youssef Zalal. Did Lance tell me he's betting this fight? I think he did. Does he even know what could even pick Youssef Zalal out of a lineup?
Jay, that's racist.
I'm gonna get canceled.
Lance, are you just expecting you want Zalal in this fight?
Who?
No, he wants.
I think he wants to bet Griffin. I think
you're taking Griffin.
Sean,
you're not worried that he's just going to get wrestled to death?
Sean, why don't you start with your breakdown?
I fucking have nothing in this fight.
Nothing?
Griffin's okay. I mean, I guess he's lost to pretty good guys in the UFC. I got to be honest. I don't remember Zalal supposedly lost at UFC 240, or he beat Austin Lingo at UFC 247.
His nickname's the Moroccan Devil.
Dude got 6 takedowns, and he only went 50%. So I'm going to say he's going to spam takedowns, and our buddy Jordan Griffin has a 35% takedown defense. So that's...
But does he doesn't care if he gets taken down.
He should, because he's going to lose.
The native psycho.
He wins most of his fights by grabbing a neck. What better way to grab a neck when someone's spamming fucking takedowns?
It didn't work last
Brad, take it over.
I've also got nothing on this fight.
Why would you want anything on this fight?
This is the Lance show.
I've got your back later on the card. I got nothing here.
Yeah, the Munich bet of the week. Stay tuned. I like Jordan Griffin here. This Youssef guy, he's a little child. I don't remember his fight, and he sucks. So I'm going to pick the other guy because he's got big muscles. Huh?
Jordan Griffin
big
losing?
Muscles.
He's bigger than this guy. This little skinny little bitch. But Griffin has dangerous subs. As Sean said, this dude is going to spam takedowns. And what better way to grab a neck when someone gets a little tired and they're shooting lazy takedowns and leaving their head in and getting choked out. So I think Griffin chokes him out, finishes this fight. And he's a slight dog right now. So I will be betting on Jordan Griffin.
Yeah, I got no preference in this bout. Should be entertaining.
Analysis, guys. How bad is this show right now where I'm the only one who's talking about fights?
You're the only one who wants to bet this fight. No one
I bet everything, dude. I bet on 3 different soccer leagues today.
Wow.
That's nothing. I bet on some like second league Austrian soccer today. I'm not even lying. I've been posting them too.
I went 2-1 today in random soccer bets. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the flow.
Yep.
Takashi Sato and Ramiz Bramaj. Did I even get that right, Nushan?
Ramiz Brahimaj.
Everyone wants to fight right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring you Rizabuda. I can't wait. Like when Data does Now You Know, he just picks the one fight of the card he's heard of the fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really don't have anything this fight either.
Who wants anything on these fights? It's not a good undercard.
What? You got Jinju Ray. You got Jordan Griffin.
Who?
I already forgot who's in this fight. Hold on.
Exactly.
You got Ramizi Ramovich.
All right, I got something on this fight.
There we go. Come on, Brad. Let's go.
All right, so I am gonna. Before I say this, I'm gonna admit I have never seen a second of Ramiz
Did
Brahimaj
you guys
fight.
see what Steve wrote in the chat?
Was
Never-
on top of the septic tank watching Poirier and Gaethje on ESPN right now.
Could you guys just picture Wes in overalls? Oh man.
I just assume that's what he wears every
I can picture Wes out of overalls.
yeah.
The soothing voice of Kentucky's finest. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that this week's card turns out better than last week's card, so that we can at least get a Wes rant after the card.
I mean, usually the shitty cards are the ones that end up being the entertaining ones.
Oh.
No, Jay, they're not.
God, Jay wasn't on the show last week.
No, he didn't. He joined in later after we were.
Jay, the
talking
good
about-
cards are the good cards. The
Yeah.
shitty cards are still shitty, even if stuff
because
happens.
they don't.
I feel like-
matter.
That's
I feel
true.
like- I feel like I did a pretty good job breaking that horrible idea down at last
Yeah.
week. You should
Yeah.
listen to the show.
Well, can
And, like,
somebody at
what
least
the-
tell me about Tanner Bozer and Felipe Lins? I feel like that can be talked about a
Did
little
you
bit.
just, Jay?
You skipped
I had
Jay
something
and
on this
Brad.
fight.
Who cares?
Jay, what?
Brad's got an angle. Didn't you?
Oh,
hear
you have
him?
an angle.
God
Oh,
damn.
sorry,
Yeah.
Brad. I'll give you
All right. So as I was saying,
Jay, you're
I've
soft.
never seen a second of Rami's fight, but all of his wins are by submission. Takashi Sato, we were just talking about a guy earlier who can't finish anybody, even the shittiest people. Lance, do you remember when we were talking about Blalal?
Yeah, it was like 5 minutes ago. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he subbed this guy.
Mm.
And do you remember?
That's the Bilal reference.
Do you remember Glyco Franca?
Oh,
Yes,
no.
I do.
He subbed this guy too.
What are you
So
saying?
I'm saying that
Didn't
Ramiz,
snozberries taste like snozberries?
who has
Getting a
subbed
sub.
everyone that he's beaten in his MMA career, is probably going to sub this guy as well.
Oh.
So it's not the line I would normally hope for. It's no Jimmy Miller level, but I'll throw a little plus 245 on Ramiz by sub.
I'm gonna bet that.
Wow.
I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna do that.
Yeah.
That was such a good explanation. Breaking
Right.
down
Not my
two
money.
guys you've
Not
never
my
seen
money, Brad.
fight. I mean,
I've seen Sato fight. I've seen him get subbed by Bilal. And that's why I'm willing to make this bet.
I say Bilal shit.
Ha.
what was that? Jay, you're
Somebody's laundry.
Laundry's done.
Jay's
Let's
laundry.
talk about Tanner Bozer and Felipe Lins.
Oh fuck.
Okay, do we have to?
I'll do laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the best fight in the card. New Sean.
Oh my god. When
You gotta
goes
have
to
something
You
the
got a
with
Canadian. You should
Lance,
go all out.
Lance had a breakdown on one. I had a breakdown on one. You got to step up here, new shot.
Sean, you're Jay. You haven't even tried today. We don't even have fighter grades. We got nothing.
I've been really busy.
The
Man.
Jews doing all the hard labor again.
Typical.
Yeah, that's understandable. That's the way we expect it.
When a heavyweight fight to go to decision is minus 210,
Well, we knew this angle was coming.
you know you're in for a bad fucking night. Even with the small cage, this is probably going to be terrible. Bozer's not that good, but he can take a beating. I guess we found out in that Arlovsky fight that Lynn isn't that good either. It's probably going to get sloppy and gross, and these guys aren't full, training to anywhere near full potential. So I'm not touching this fight. I'll pick Lynn's because he's not Canadian and he looks like an actual fighter.
That's the right decision. All right, Brad.
That was racist.
I want to go. Like, this is so out of the ballpark of Fatty's gonna fatty that it
Reverse?
almost needs to go reverse Fatty's gonna fatty. So under 2.5 plus
Is that a thing?
185.
Is this a new angle?
Yeah,
When it gets
we've
this
gone
bad.
all the way to the other end. Now we got to
Yep.
fucking reel it back in.
Yeah. Hey, we made lines like this because we used to bet the fat dudes all the time to go over 1.5, and now odds makers have just gone too far, Jay.
Gone too far.
We've got to be the ones. We've got to be the heroes that the MMA gambling community deserves.
Somebody's got to be a trendsetter, trailblazer.
That's
Lance?
it.
Yes. So my research on this fight got as far as the dude works or trains at Shaved Bears MMA.
Not good. Campground.
So I'm looking at the fight. I'm breaking it down, right? I don't know these guys very well. I've seen Lynn's fight a good bit. So I look at the first guy. I'm like, okay, he's fighting Lynn's. This guy should win. Then I'm like, oh shit, Shaved Bears MMA. I'm like, okay, then I'll bet Lynn's. And then I go over to Lynn's. I'm like, oh yeah, he just lost to Andre Arlovsky in 2020. And then I just go, well, maybe I'll play, doesn't go the distance. These 2 heavyweight fights. And then Sean was like, this Boser guy has been decision 7 times in his last 8 fights. And I was like, okay, I'm out. And that's my breakdown.
Yeah.
It's a good breakdown.
That's not bad. Not bad at all.
Nothing here. Nothing.
No, this is
garbage.
terrible so far. This is one of the worst prelim cards ever.
Everybody wants to fight.
Lynn's has beaten guys that have actually gotten victories in the UFC.
He lost Andre Arlovsky in 2020, and that erases everything he's done.
None of it matters anymore.
Close, and he probably won that fight, so whatever.
He was it doesn't even matter if he won or lost. He was competitive with Andre Arlovsky in 2020.
Boser was going to lose to Arlovsky too, so you got to think about it. That
would he?
Yeah,
no, he'd take him down.
Cleans him up. Shave Bear MMA.
Oh,
Shave Bear MMA.
Right.
I'm taking Lynn's. Enough. I mean, again, one guy's has a real resume, and the other guy's beating Daniel Spitz. So, what?
Minus 105, Jay.
Ooh, he's the underdog.
I'll do it.
Jay's on the board.
Plus 240 by decision, Jay.
Oh, that's tempting. I mean, isn't it more fun to bet? I don't want to do it.
Does Lynn's finish fights? I don't remember. He knocked out.
He has some finishes.
Did he knock out our boy, the Big Show?
Yeah, Josh Copeland. Yes.
That is not.
That's not
Jared Rohskopf. Sorry, wrong fat guy. Wrong fat guy. I was thinking of the cuddly bear. Another bear. See, bear.
That's Josh Copeland, cuddly bear.
Cuddly bear. He's beating him
Jared
too.
Rohskopf is not fat. He's strong.
That's not true.
Oh, he's a barrel.
Lance, you should be proud. Trump in one of his speeches this week said "big strong guy."
I heard that. So we've eliminated that term.
I think it's very possible that there's definitely been a time where he's been on Air Force One and downloaded and listened to our show. I think it's a real possibility.
He's got all the time in the world.
I does.
He's got something to do.
Nothing to do.
He's not going to be walking up and downstairs.
No,
not anymore.
And if he was, he'd be listening to our show.
He's not going mass shopping anytime soon. Like, he's got free time. We'll send it over to him. I'll handle it.
No, you don't have to send it over to him. He's already done it. You don't have to send it. He's already done it.
He's a subscriber.
I mean, what do you think when he's been doing this with his hands? What do you think that's referencing?
So, Brad, Lynn's has finished his last
friend.
Lynn's has finished his eight straight wins.
No. Oh. I don't think so.
Who are we talking about? Right. 8 straight wins.
Oh, yeah. I guess, when he wins, he finishes.
Yeah, Lynn's has finished 8 straight of his wins.
The one was in the fourth round, though.
Brad, you got a lock here. A lock. This dude has finished talent. Kaio Alencar, Alex Nicholson at heavyweight, the Big Show, Josh Copeland.
Those are wins.
You're just knocking dudes out. The power, it's there.
It's incredible.
It's incredible power.
It's infectious.
The best power ever. I've never seen power like this.
Another women's fight.
People tell me all the time that I've never seen power like this guy has. Tremendous power.
Do you guys want the good news or the bad news?
Well, that fight's been canceled, so that's good.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's fucking canceled. Well, they're trying to find a replacement for Barella. Maverick.
Wait, Mav's going to be fighting?
Mav? No, Maverick.
I don't know what you're talking about, and I also don't care.
There you go.
A bet's a bet, Mav. Bet's a bet. Well, in better news, Violent Bob Ross is back, and he's facing everybody's favorite, Allworthy.
That can't be a real name.
I didn't make it up.
Comma.
Oh, Kama
he was the
Karma Police.
like the super short notice guy that came in and beat up another one of those shitty hype prospects, right?
Yeah, he knocked out
Yeah,
Devontae Smith
right.
as like
And
a
yeah,
little
I remember
600.
that one.
They were like best friends.
You gotta
and
read
he
Steve's
knocked him
latest
out.
comment.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve is tremendous. So the winner of Bozer and Lynn's gets to feed applesauce to the loser of Green. Well, it's going to be Maurice Green. Spoiler alert.
But he's saying
That
We'll
one's
get
a little
there.
more interesting if there were side bets like this. That's for
When he's
sure.
talking applesauce, is he mean Gray Maynard's brain? Is that what he's referencing? Ooh, too soon.
He's
A lot of
struggling
brains.
with some words, that's for sure.
That's true. Well, yeah, comma worthy. All worthy. All worthy.
So I
He is not worthy of being in the UFC.
He's not worthy of being talked about on the show either, but here we are.
Yeah, he is. He just knocked out Devontae Smith.
Yeah, that's true.
I put a half unit on him inside the distance at plus 378.
You bet Kama worthy?
Adam Ward.
Inside the distance and only half a unit. Because I
So
need
you-
some bets on this guy.
No,
It's fucking
Sean,
ridiculous.
we need to teach the children about prop round robins. So
Is this the
if you
time?
don't want to put a lot of money on the fight, because I know that most of you don't bet anyway. So like take 10 or 20 bucks, and what you do is you find 4 props that you think might hit on the card.
Brad, do you have your 4 locked in?
No, not for this card yet. I'll probably get there by the end of the show. I like to talk my way through it. You know, it's a good process for me. It's
good.
a real
Very
experience.
Therapeutic, yeah.
Exactly. But what you do is you go to Parlay, you click the 4 props that you like, you hit continue, and then when you get to the next page, usually there's an option where you can be like single parlay, or you can parlay them by 2s or by 3s. So if you parlay them by 2s, if any 2 of those props hit, you're going to make a bunch of money. And then if you want to make sure if you make money if one of them hits, you bet props that are a little bit bigger. You put like 25, 50 bucks on each of them, and it turns into a beautiful night.
I thought you have to hit 2 to win a bet.
You do.
Yeah, he said
Yes,
that.
that's
Yeah.
why I just said if you want to
I
put
thought
a
you
little
said
bit more
something
money
about
on,
oh.
then you put like 25 or 50 bucks on it each. You bet props that are a little bit of
I
a
see.
higher value.
I see what you're
You got to
saying.
keep up, Jay. Got to keep
Oh,
up.
I get what you're saying now. Okay. Okay.
I think Worthy's just going to come forward and throw heat for 2 minutes, and then he's going to be done, but that's worth a stab.
Has Violent Bob Ross ever been knocked out?
No.
No.
He's lost twice to decision.
Both
He's also
What
splits.
makes you think he's going to lose by knockout here?
Because all
Worthy
guys
throws-
just
Because the other
none of
guy
them-
wins
none
by
of them have
knockout.
power.
Yeah. Worthy throws bombs or loses.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to see. Yeah, Violent Bob get.
I mean, he's not very good, though. So there's
Yeah.
that.
Pena's overrated, man.
Is he?
But he
Very
beat,
much so.
Yeah,
Yes,
a
he
lot of
is,
people
but-
love him though, but
he beats guys that are not
He's
good.
supposed to. Yeah, he beats the guys he's
Yeah.
supposed to. That's fair.
he always looks better when he fights than his actual performance. If that makes any sense.
I don't know
someone-
what that means.
Someone just said Best Bro Hugs has a big bet on Gall.
That's sharp right there.
I
Shut
hope
up.
that. I love that we've got Brandon.
Sure.
Welcome. I love that we've got people that I've never seen their names before who come in and shit on bro hugs.
Brandon Grasso, we salute you. Thank you for listening to the show.
Cheers to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bro Hugs is sharp
Here,
as a bouncy
here's a
ball.
can for you, sir.
I can't believe he's so salty. He bet against the chick that he banged. I mean, she did.
I
leave him
know.
for
That didn't
chicks,
happen.
though.
Didn't
Of
happen.
course that happened.
You know what happened. Everything Dan says is true.
Yes, except his bets.
Why would
Those
he
not
fabricate anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, why fabricate? Yeah.
Bradley.
Yeah.
What
You
do
like
you
I
got?
don't have a lot on this fight. I don't
I know.
hate Sean's angle here. I think that Kamaworthy doesn't have a lot of cardio, but during the time that he does, he's gonna sort of go for it. So I don't hate that as a potential leg of the prop round robin that I just mentioned.
Lance?
Yeah, I'm not in agreement. I think Worthy, from what I can tell, is a pretty dangerous striker. He's got power in his hands. I think he gets taken down pretty quickly here. I think he gets clinched, taken down, and just gets the piss beat out of him. I think this is going to be a first-round stoppage via ground and pound. So I do like Pena in this one. I will be parlaying him with someone else on this card who does not enjoy hugging bros.
I like Luis Pena in this fight, really because I mean, I've never seen Violent Bob be knocked out. I never really seen him being close to being knocked out. So Worthy can come with what he's got, but as long as Violent Bob lasts 2-3 minutes, he's going to really take over this fight. And he's just a way more diverse striker, as well as just a way better ground game. So just way more tools in the Luis Pena repertoire. I think he wins rather easily. Let's move up to a catchweight bout. Okay. Sean Wooderson taking on Julian Erosa. Brad?
Juicy J, baby.
Ooh.
He meant New Sean.
It's going to be Erosa up in here, baby.
Is this an Erosic viewing for you?
Oh,
are you gonna be writing an Erosic story after
you know what? I wish that I could guarantee that was going to happen, but Sean Woodson is not good, and for a guy whose nickname is the Sniper, he has like 0 power.
Yep.
So that kind of doesn't make sense, but then again, he gets punched in the face for a living, so
yes.
It's neither here nor there. But you've got to think that Julian Erosa gets knocked out in this fight because, like, it's Julian Erosa. It's what he does.
It's a good point.
And there's no props or anything out on this fight yet, but fight doesn't go to decision is -120. And even that is tempting to me.
Okay. Lance?
You skipped New Sean.
Oh, why did Brad start talking?
Because you said Brad.
Because you said Brad.
They're making jokes about Erosic. That's why. All right, New Sean. Go talk about town stuff.
F- today.
I bet Woodson when he was gonna fight Cal Nelson because Cal Nelson's
terrible.
Yeah, exactly. But of course, that got canceled like 3 hours after I put that bet in, so that kind of fucked up my parlay, which is awesome.
Happens.
But I was looking to bet him here. He's -500. You can't really bet him, but he should finish Erosa. He's so fucking bad. I might take a shot at that. Doesn't go at -120.
Okay.
That's right.
Lance.
Yeah. This fight, man. Sean Woodson's the most unathletic, unassuming, horrible fighter.
Unathletic?
Not unlike a Sniper.
Not unlike his opponent.
True. Yeah. I mean, Sean Woodson just does not look. I don't.
Do you think the tattoos make him less look athletic looking?
I think so.
I think it's because they're like on his biceps and shit. And
it's the whole pack. He's also very ugly. He's an extremely ugly man. One of the most ugly men. He's just not a good looking chap.
Ears and bald.
Real weird shaped head too.
Yeah.
He's just. It's not working out
going
for him.
With
that said, I cannot figure out why old Juicy J keeps on coming back to get hilarious knockouts.
Because everybody wants to fight, Lance. Come on.
I looked at that total, the under as well. -120 doesn't go. I mean, it's hard not to want to play that with Juicy J because if somehow he did win, he finishes most of his fights as well, and he has no chin and he gets knocked out hilariously and all that. So that's what I'd be leaning. I'm still not.
Woodson has like 2 finishes in his career.
Yeah, it's really hard to play a -120 when you're facing a guy that literally has no power versus a dude who has no chin and also no power. Oh yeah, it's quite the conundrum. So I'm probably gonna skip out on this one. I might play Juicy J if he gets to like +500. We're at 340 now, so we'll see where it goes. Because really, if you think about it, should Sean Woodson be -510 versus anyone?
Probably not, and that's the issue. I mean, Woodson's better than Erosa. I mean, Erosa's a punching bag. Woodson's super tall and lanky, but so is Erosa. So it's kind of like a weird, interesting matchup. Erosa's got so much more experience, which makes it somewhat intriguing. But
I'm betting Erosa.
Yeah, pass.
Yeah, as long as he does it inside the distance.
I'll take Woodson, but it's not a super confident play, and I agree that the price is a bit. I don't even know what the word term is anymore. It's just not a good price. Let's move on.
I don't, just as a mathematical thing, before we move on, I don't see how you can be a minus 510 favorite and the fight can be minus 120 to not go the distance.
Yeah, that's very bizarre, right?
That's weird.
Jeremy just joined the thing and said, I joined too. He's very, very ugly. So I knew it was at the MMA Analysis breakdowns. And of course it was me.
Well, Lance has been waiting to talk about this fight all night. Gian Villante, his guy, taking on Maurice Green. Heavyweight fight. New Sean, why don't you start it off?
This is an ugly ass fight.
Is it very, very, very ugly?
It is very ugly.
Okay.
I think if it stays on the feet, then Villante is gonna probably get knocked out. Villante, the last time Villante got a takedown in the UFC, it was 2015.
What about the last time he beat a real heavyweight?
It's a good thing that he's facing a heavyweight who likes to pull guard.
Yeah,
that is an issue.
And crochet.
That is an issue, and that's why I'm not taking Maurice Green in this fight either. Villante's terrible. He should not be a heavyweight, and he has terrible takedowns, and he has not got one for 5 years. So I can't bank on him taking him down. So I'll pass, but I'll pick Maurice Green to knock him out.
All right, Brad.
You don't want to go to Lance. You're going to save him for last here.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Same order.
You know what? I actually like Gian Villante here. He's been in with real fighters, so that's a plus because Maurice Green's never faced anybody. I thought he was like the sprinter, but apparently he's an MMA fighter. So there's that, and as much as Sean says he's going to get knocked out if it stays on the feet. There's not a lot of guys that have knocked him out in his career. He's been clipped a few times, but it's generally been like either stupid things where he's gassed or just a weird fight. Like I remember he had one back in Strikeforce where some nobody ended up knocking him out. So
he did get knocked out last time, though.
Yeah, but
he didn't get knocked out. That was a shot to the body, and that was from a guy that's actually good.
Very good.
Faced in his career, so there's that.
Fair.
The thing about Villante is he's always in super close fights, and then you've got a guy on the other side who gives away fights with all of the things that he does. Like Maurice Green's the type of heavyweight that will spend 4 minutes and 30 seconds on his back looking for a triangle that he's never going to get because he got one back in the day in Legacy. Like that's the type of fighter that this dude is. So there's probably going to be a lot of nothing happening in terms of striking on the feet, and then they're going to get in the clinch a little bit, and Villante is probably going to win those exchanges because even if he doesn't go for takedowns, he just knows positioning better than Green and is going to take advantage of those moments. And I think that Villante is going to win a decision here. So he's in the prop round robin. Decision plus 400, baby.
Okay, that's one of the 4 pieces of that little round robin.
We already talked about 2 other ones, Jay. Kama Worthy inside, Brahimaj submission. Come on.
Oh, I didn't know those. I didn't know those were actually part of it. I thought they were just discussion points.
I mean, when you're throwing darts, you might as well just throw darts at everything, right?
Yeah, might as well. A little cricket. It's understandable. All right, Lance, felicitate time over Jean.
Yeah, I love some Johnny Villante, but this is not as much about Johnny Villante, the Gronk of MMA.
Well, that's a pretty good.
It's right there. I know. I nailed it. It's fine. It's not a big deal. We don't talk about it. I said before the show, I would bet on any UFC heavyweight at plus 200 versus Maurice Green. And then I really thought about it. Any UFC heavyweight, I would bet against Maurice Green here. And Brad made some really, really good points, obviously, Jews. And Maurice Green is cool just getting laid down. And I know Villante might not have been, getting a lot of takedowns recently, Sean, but Maurice Green is probably one of the easiest guys to take down I've ever seen in my whole life. If he's not pulling guard, he's not defending a takedown. He immediately just gives up. So, Johnny can get on top. And we saw that last fight with Maurice Green. Who was he fighting? The Russian guy. Olenek. And Olenek was so tired, I thought he was literally just going to just walk away and just lay down and take a nap. And instead of doing that, he kind of fell into Green, took him down, and submitted him. It was quite embarrassing. So I like Johnny Villante here. The Gronk is back. We saw that. He's with Brady. Everything's good. So the other hosts on this show wanted to do some tout parlay. The Jews took over this week. We're going with the Munich bet of the week. Johnny Villante plus 185. I mean, this is a lock. It's over.
Yep.
I'm taking Maurice Green in this fight.
Yeah, no one cares. No one fucking cares, Jay.
Gian Villante is a 4-inch height disadvantage and like a 6-inch reach disadvantage. I don't think Gian Villante's ever beaten a fighter who's actually bigger though. He's not a real heavyweight. He's a light heavyweight.
Jay, we talked about this. Every light heavyweight is a heavyweight.
And maybe in some world, I don't trust John's cardio. Even if the fight went to the ground, I could totally see him getting triangled here because he's not going to have any energy. He's not going to be able to breathe. So I don't trust Gian Villante. He's way smaller here.
Look at the way he fucking spells his name.
I know, it's terrible. Don't get me started.
He's Gronk.
He
That's
probably it's the chicken parm method of spelling John. So understandable.
Do we have any Marinara Maestro guys on this card?
Not this week.
Not that I know.
They must all be hanging out in the empty hospitals.
Well, one guy Lance has been raving about all week. Brendan Allen taking on Kyle Dukakis.
Oh, like presidential nominee back in the day.
Dukakis. It's Dukakis.
Maybe it's his grandson.
Yeah.
What year did he run for president? 1988.
Yeah.
Ran against George Bush.
Why do I know that?
That's a long
I actually know it
time ago.
Because you follow America. You follow America. You're so close. You wish you were one.
No, I'm worried that it's seeping up here.
Yeah, we're trying to build that wall.
Yeah, I know. You got to work down here, Brad. It's okay.
Brad, we talked about this earlier. We're gonna dominate coronavirus. We are
just like we dominate everything else.
Dominating the battle space of coronavirus.
Brad, can't you see the trends?
I'm in sales, and we talk a lot about pacing and forecasting. Up and to the right is always positive. So you guys can say whatever the fuck you want. We are up and to the right. The coronaviruses are taking off. So it's enough of that.
Don't you know how charts work, Brad? Up and right. It's good.
This is what you want, Brad.
You got to convert it over to the metric system. It doesn't look the same.
Okay. All right. Well, new Sean. Brendan Allen time. Do you know anything about Dukakis other than that he's the grandson of the former?
I don't. Looks
he's
like
Dukakis.
He is a jiu-jitsu guy, which
not good.
I don't think that's gonna go well against Brendan Allen.
First joke.
He's born in Philadelphia and trains in something called Martinez BJJ. I don't know where that is.
Yeah,
nobody does. Brendan Allen's very good. I was very excited to bet him against Ian Heinisch, and of course that fight had to fall out.
Goddamn Corona.
Fucking Rona. So I like him in this fight. I took him. He was the other part of that Woodson parlay that got canceled, so I got 2 units straight on Brendan Allen at -280, which is always fun. I think his wrestling will be decent and his sub defense will be decent. I think he's going to light this guy up on the feet.
Okay. Bradford?
Yeah, I don't really know anything about Dukakis, so I can't really talk about that, but Brendan Allen is very good. The only thing I will point out is that Dukakis has a lot of Darce choke wins on his record, and some against some pretty decent guys up in your neck of the woods, Jay, like
BFFC.
Jonathan Webb.
Yeah, former UFC welterweight.
Washout.
Yeah. But it's just one of those things. Somebody mentioned Cody McKenzie earlier on the show, but where a guy just has one move that he's not necessarily a good fighter, but he's got one move that can work against some guys and kind of catch him by surprise.
So Brian Ortega?
In some fights that he really shouldn't win. No, Ortega's just like get punched in the face a lot. Hope you win in round 3. But it seems like Dukakis has this with his Darce choke. So Allen's going to beat him up if it stays on the feet. I truly believe that. It's just if he gets a little tired and takes a sloppy shot or something like that, he could get caught in that. But Brendan Allen should win this fight. It's not even enough at like plus 550 for me to want to throw Dukakis in by sub as the final parlay leg.
Lance?
Yeah, I like Brendan Allen a lot here. I really like this kid. He's super young, but he's also pretty experienced. And he fought in LFA, had some good experience there, fought some tough fights. And since he's been in the UFC, he hasn't had the easiest road for a super young kid. He fought Kevin Holland, who's dangerous, submitted Kevin Holland. Tom Breeze knocked him out on top. And I like him. I think his wrestling is pretty good. He trains at Rufus Sport, so he probably gets some decent wrestling practice in there. Ben Askren maybe stops by every once in a while. But his striking is not that bad. Like for a guy who's mostly a top fighter and really good jiu-jitsu and ground and pound, his striking is not that bad. And I think he's going to have the wrestling advantage here. So I think he takes him down. I think he stays on top and works his ground and pound. I don't think this is going to be a striking match. I might be in the minority here. I think Brendan Allen does what Brendan Allen does. And I think he takes him down, gets on top, throws punches, beats him up, and looks for a submission. And I think he gets it. And it's, when you're facing a bunch of random nobodies and some random promotion, you can get some finishes. Like that's great. But it's different at this level with someone like Brendan Allen, who's very, very good in the ground, has been in this atmosphere. And I think his wrestling and top control and ground and pound is going to be the difference. So I will have him in a parlay.
Yeah, it's hard not to like Brendan Allen in this fight. Dukakis is rather unproven. Allen, has some pretty good wins so far. In his time in the UFC. I mean, that's just the truth. He's beaten Kevin Holland. He has a good win over Tom Breeze, who at one point was like a pretty high-level prospect as well. He's fought a lot of good competition. And he's, like Lance said, he's pretty young, under 25 years old. And he's got a great motor. I think that's really the key. I don't think he has really significant power or like a really stifling grappling game, but he just constantly works, and he's just one of those guys that I love to bet because he's just constantly moving, and he controls fights and he wins rounds, and that's important. And he's going to win here. I think that's end the story. It's a good matchup.
Now that you guys
and it's a short notice fight, so.
Now that you guys talk me through it, Allen by TKO at plus 441 is that doesn't seem like a terrible option because this guy has a lot of sub wins. He's probably a pretty decent grappler, so it might just be Allen gets on top, pounds him out a little bit, and gets a win. So that might not be awful. We might switch things around a little bit.
I think I'd like a bigger number though.
That seems a little low for it seems like it's most likely going to be sub.
Yeah, but it's Rona, quarantine, and fucking small cage.
Mm-hmm.
Co-main event. Mickey Gall is returning to the UFC, taking on
co-main.
Is he a friend of the MMA Analysis at this point, Mike Perry? I don't know. You like talking about him.
A distant friend.
He's my kind of guy.
Depends what he's saying.
He's not really a friend, but we like
he's the kind of He's the kind of guy that you meet up with at the bar, but you don't invite back to your house.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's a great way to describe it. Yeah, that's Platinum Mike. You like when he's there because he's full of party, but you never have him around your glassware. All right, Dushan, how is Mike Perry winning this fight? Let's be honest.
I think he can even take down Mickey Gall if he wants to, or knock him out on the feet. Yeah, I mean, Mickey Gall is pretty terrible on his back. I mean, we saw that in the Sanchez fight, but I don't know if if Perry even wants to fuck around with that. I think this line would probably be double if Perry was actually at a fight camp with real corner people. What
are you trying to say, bro?
Not Lance and his girlfriend.
Bullshit.
You know, that's why the line's as cheap as this.
Mickey Gall,
it is.
He was training with Lance.
Only has a choke.
Lance just couldn't get to the venue because of the positive test.
Yeah, I failed my COVID test, so I sadly can't go to the fight. But my girl's got this.
Jesus, just awesome. Of course, it's Mike Perry pulling this shit. He's the much more talented fighter. I think like early on in his UFC career, he kind of like beat the shit out of really lower level guys, and then people kind of just wrote him off as just all he could do is just throw the right hand. But beating Paul Felder, whether it was deserved or not, and even that win against Cowboy was pretty impressive. I think he's better than what he kind of looks like. So I like him to win. I don't think I can lay minus 300 on him. I did lay minus 150 for him inside the distance. I do think he gets a finish here. Minus 300 is a little steep though, so I'll just take a shot at the prop.
Brad, do you think this price is steep on Mike Perry?
I don't think it's very steep. Like Sean just talked about how Mike Perry beat up some lower level UFC guys when he came in.
Beat up CM Punk.
That's exactly right. There's nobody that has.
Don't forget Super Sage as well.
Well, he's got 5 wins in the UFC at this point. Mickey Gall has. And I don't think that he's got a better resume than anyone in UFC history that has 5 wins. Like, those are 5 of the worst losses, or 5 of the worst wins that you can find.
And he got knocked out by Diego Sanchez.
That's fucking bad.
In 2019.
Diego Sanchez. So.
Well, you're right. That is, it has to be, Brad. That I'm looking at it now. You're right. That has to be the worst.
Yeah.
Male or female 5-win setup in UFC history.
It's pretty bad.
It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. The thing is, like, Diego finished him because Diego keeps a super high pace. I'm not sure that Perry's going to fight fast enough to just like completely wear him down and finish him off. So I don't love the inside the distance in this one. But if you want to use Mike Perry at minus 290 as a parlay piece or something like that, I'm fine with that. I actually kind of like the over 1.5 at minus 115 in this fight too. I think that it's going to go some distance. I know everybody else disagrees with me.
He got knocked out by 2019 Diego Sanchez.
He's gonna get nuked. He's gonna get nuked.
Not the same thing.
Ran out of gas.
Perry's not going to take him down and just stay on top of all fight. He's not going to. No.
He tried to grapple with Cowboy.
Lance, if he had your corner advice, he absolutely would. But you're missing from the equation. So he's not going to play with the best game plan.
I tell him to pull guard.
If he gets a finish, it's going to be like late round 2, round 3. But I'm actually leaning towards a platinum decision here.
Oh, damn. Let's hope not.
Don't do that to us. There's no way Mickey Gall can last 15 minutes with a guy.
It's going to be awful. It's going to be awful.
No. Come on.
That is such an erotic thought. Lance, tell me what's really going to happen.
Yeah, I like Perry a good bit here. I think Mickey Gall is going to gas out so quickly. He's going to go into that fight so scared to stand and trade with Mike Perry. It's going to be pretty funny. He's going to immediately start spamming takedowns. He's going to dive from really far away. He's going to like eat these hammer fists going away. And I think he legit is going to shoot like 7 or 8 times in the first 2 minutes.
And be
completely gassed about halfway through the first round. Start putting his hands down, getting a little sloppy, and I think Perry just cleans him out in the first round. Mickey Gall he's real bad. He's a real bad. He has some of the worst striking I've ever seen, and he doesn't have the wrestling to dictate where the fight goes. And that's not a good combination when you're fighting a guy like Mike Perry, who just hits so fucking hard. He's great at, his hands, like, not great. I didn't mean it like that. He has great hands and big power. And if you're facing a guy that doesn't have any striking offense or defense, it should be a quick night here. So I think Mike Perry takes care of him rather easily and rather quickly. I mean, if you get finished by 2019 Diego Sanchez by any means, I don't think so.
That's a better way to see it.
I mean,
so
yeah.
I have him in a parlay. So I have Mike Perry parlayed with Luis Pena.
This would be the worst fighter that Mike Perry has faced in the UFC that he hasn't knocked out. If he doesn't.
Yep.
He's gonna knock him out quick. I mean, Mickey Gall gasses so quick. And I think, everyone jokes around about Mike Perry's ground game. I don't think he has I've seen worse ground games than Mike Perry. Like, he's not like you take him down and the fight's instantly over. Everyone looks at that Cowboy fight. Cowboy's done that with a lot of guys. Like Cowboy's Cowboy. He has those moments in the ground. And even as you're aging, you still have your jiu-jitsu there. So don't think Mike Perry, if the fight hits the ground, then Perry's fucking dead in the water. I think Perry would beat Mickey Gall in a grappling match.
Just being on top.
I don't even think it really matters. This is a complete mismatch. This is by far the best opponent that Mickey Gall has faced. I mean, Mickey Gall fought Randy Brown at one point, a young Randy Brown, and Randy Brown beat the brakes off of him. Like, it was an embarrassing fight. I mean, who does Mickey Gall beat? How does Mickey Gall win this fight? First of all, he'd have to rear naked choke Mike Perry. But Perry doesn't have a neck, so it's gonna be hard to submit him, for one. And he'd have to handle Perry's power, which seems extremely unlikely.
For 15 minutes, yeah.
For 15 minutes. It's a brutal, brutal matchup. Honestly, I think this should be the biggest spread on the entire card. I don't understand how what's his name was a Roso's that fight's a 5-1 or Woodson's a 5.5 to 1 favorite and Perry's a 3 to 1. I don't get that. I really don't. This is a wide difference in skill, power, and ability. I mean, Perry trains at American Top Team, man. He's been training there for how long?
He's not training there now.
He's
training with his girlfriend.
And he's starting Mike Perry Fight Gym.
So is everybody. No one's in Florida. There's 5,000.
We got to see if he's in the garage. We need some fucking tape to see.
If I guarantee.
Then it's max bet season.
I think the reason this line is low is people think Mickey Gall is this like super high level grappler because he has all these submission finishes. When I look at someone who's like a super high level grappler, I don't look at their record and only see rear naked chokes. My daughter is 6. I have taught her the nastiest rear naked choke ever.
I can do a rear naked choke in every one day of MMA in my life. It's the easiest thing to do. You lock your legs, you throw your wrist over. That's it. It's not hard.
It doesn't make you a great grappler, and I don't think he's going to get in a position where he's able to take his back and choke him out. So, yeah, it's Mike Perry all day.
He's going to have to get through that power still. He's going to have to avoid, on each of his shots being just nailed in the face. I don't see it. I really don't.
Mike Perry for president.
Knockout. Do you guys know what so Mickey Gall's 6-2. Do you know what the combined record was of his first 3 MMA opponents at the time he fought them?
1-9?
0-0.
Oh no. Because he fought Mike Jackson.
CM Punk in the third one, I guess the first fight.
Yeah, Mike Jackson, CM Punk.
Dude on the regional circuit. And then Mike Jackson.
It's pretty bad when George Sullivan's by far your best win ever. The guy who went.
It's not even close. At least Sullivan was like a real fighter for at least a bit of time. I mean, he passed his prime.
Mike Perry in this fight.
What'd you say?
I said I will absolutely parlay Mike Perry in this fight.
You can bet him straight. It doesn't matter. He's winning. Who cares? Yeah. Just make money and move on. Anyway, main event. I've had enough. Dustin Poirier taking on Dan Hooker. Best fight on the card. I mean, but
that's not saying much.
Fight on the card.
Should be entertaining. I mean,
this is a great fight. This is a great main event on a non-pay-per-view. Great.
it's
no Cynthia Carvalho versus Jessica I, but I mean, it's close.
It's a fight that like it makes sense. It's booked for 5 rounds, and maybe it goes more than 3 rounds, maybe it doesn't, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun and it's important. All right, Nushan, tell us about this.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very, very fun fight. Dustin Poirier has very, very good hands. We saw that in the Gaethje fight. We saw that in Eddie Alvarez fight, and even against Max Holloway, who's a pretty good striker that is able to vary his strikes. Dan Hooker, what are you laughing at, Jay?
Oh,
Steve.
Look at Steve's comments.
Barry's TDD percentage is a lot higher than his African American DNA.
Are we sure?
2%.
Oh, it absolutely is.
It's got to be higher than 2%.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Where to get that from? Ancestry.com? Which one's more reliable, Ancestry.com or MyMetric.com?
You know what? I feel like his takedown defense is probably right on par with what an accurate DNA test would be for Mike Perry. 70%.
Okay.
Yeah. Not that mail-in bullshit.
All right, Nushan, continue on this path.
Yeah, I thought Hooker looked good against Paul Felder, but I bet him in that fight. I kind of expected more from him. Maybe I'm underestimating Paul Felder. I think this is going to be a pretty good fight. I think Poirier is just a better fighter at this point. I do worry about the leg kicks. Poirier got eaten up by Gaethje and Jim Miller way back when, and those calf kicks can change the fight very quickly. So hopefully he just doesn't eat too many of those from Dan Hooker, who was spamming him pretty hard against Paul Felder early on. I like Poirier to win. I took the over 2.5 at minus 110, I believe. I think this is going to go a little longer than that, minus 117. I do give Poirier a pretty big edge in this fight.
Okay, Brad, are you on the same wavelength as Nushan here? From one side of Canada to the other?
Some of the same wavelengths. Like, I agree that I favor Poirier quite heavily in this fight, but or I'm not sure if he said quite heavily, but he likes Poirier in this fight, and I do quite a bit well. I actually don't have some of the concerns that he has. The calf kicks aren't going to be a thing because Poirier is a southpaw, and nobody throws calf kicks to like the inside of the opponent's right leg. They don't throw them to the inside of the lead leg. It's not a thing. I don't think
Gaethje
that
did it, and so did Miller.
Gaethje doesn't throw the calf kicks though. Gaethje throws
he
the
throws
hammering actual inside leg kicks.
Yeah,
and if you look at the calf kicks that Hooker threw against Felder, they were he landed 15 of them in the first round. They were all pity-pat little shots that had zero effect. So that's not a concern to me at all in this fight. And I think this small cage is going to be absolutely terrible for Dan Hooker in this fight. Against Felder, the only time he was winning was when he was able to just keep distance, and he's got a 6-inch reach advantage or something over Felder, so he was able to just leg kick and jab, and those were the sequences of the fights that he was winning. Whenever they got into exchanges, he has terrible defense in exchanges. Felder was landing a ton of stuff on him. Felder got poked in the eye at the end of round 1, and then went on to win 3 of the next 4 rounds and get jobbed by a hometown decision. So now he's facing a guy that's a better striker than Felder, has more power than Felder, is a southpaw, is going to give him some weirder angles. I think that Dustin Poirier is going to absolutely smoke Dan Hooker in this fight. There's going to be exchanges early. There is a chance that Hooker throws a knee or something like that in there, because Poirier likes to dip and flail around a little bit, so you can see him getting caught by something. But I think
fuck, Brad. There we go.
Is going to make some good work of this one. I feel absolutely comfortable parlaying him in this fight, and I'm even thinking small cage, quick exchanges, maybe some Dustin Poirier round 1 at plus 300 to finish off the prop round robin.
Lance?
Yeah, I like same page. I actually think Hooker is one of the more overrated fighters in the UFC right now. I think we give him credit for a few good moments, and maybe a bad decision. I think everyone looks back at, especially the Gilbert Burns finish, and kind of looks at that. But Gilbert Burns is a different guy right now, and he's at this weight class, he's a different guy, and I don't really put much into that. He gets, dominated by Edson Barbosa, bell to bell until the finish. He knocks out James Vick, which is not very hard to do. And then he wins a not so great decision versus Paul Felder in a fight I thought he lost. This is the same guy that early on in his career lost to a bunch of guys that are not in the UFC anymore. I don't know. I feel like I look at what he's done and I'm not overly impressed. And then I look at Dustin Poirier, and I see very little holes in Dustin Poirier's game. He is really, really good. I don't know if Dustin Poirier is never going to beat Khabib. He doesn't have that game. He doesn't have that take on defense. But if you're not named Khabib, Dustin Poirier is going to be a fucking nightmare for you. He is in your face. He is throwing punches. He has big power. He could take a shot if he needs to. Poirier is great, and I think this is not going to be a close fight. I think this is going to be a very, very wide decision if it gets there, but my gut tells me it's going to be Poirier landing something big, maybe in the second or third round, and gets him out of there. So I do like Poirier. That'll be in my bigger parlay with Brennan Allen.
I'd like to add on to this conversation regarding just body work. Dustin, I think, is one of the best fighters, certainly in the lightweight division, but probably in all of the UFC in terms of focusing on the body and slowing his opponents down. Hooker struggled with body work in his fights. He's super lanky, so just not having a lot of mass to the body to kind of absorb some of that damage, it certainly is going to play a part here. And so I could certainly see Hooker being slowed down in this fight. And then with the small cage, again, it's going to be an advantage to Dustin, who's aggressive. It's going to get in Hooker's space and not give Hooker time and length to separate and to land strikes. I think the cage factor is certainly plays into Dustin's part. So I don't think it's going to be a first round finish, but again, I think just a bit of work and action. Dustin wins kind of in the early to mid rounds. Like I agree with Lance, maybe second, third round. I think he puts Dan Hooker out of there. Are we going to parlay this thing or no? Are we gonna do a bet?
That'll cost $30 to give.
I guess
special.
Can't announce it.
If it's going to be a tout scum bet, it's got to be a tout scum price.
Yeah, minus 106. Laying the juice on a parlay.
But I feel like if you guys listen,
why are we giving that away for free?
You can tell that we were pretty confident about those last fights.
Hint. Nudge.
Yeah.
And if for some reason Dan Hooker wins by 50-42 decision, we'll give every single bet we were thinking about for the next month. We'll give him away. But he has to win by 50-42 across the board.
Nail it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Sweet.
The exacta. We got a week off next week.
Fuck yes.
They're giving the week off for
July 4th.
American
holiday.
I'm going to celebrate that holiday by lighting my mask on fire. Ain't no one going to stop my freedom.
Nothing wrong with that.
Sounds like we might have Jerry's Atlanta story next week. He said he might chime in
or the week after.
You just told me I had a week off.
Well, from fights, but we're going to recap this, and then Jerry's going to tell us a funny story.
We'll think about that.
I got a meeting.
Yeah,
you got nothing to fucking do on a Wednesday.
Dude, I got to buy my fireworks.
It's got to buy Phantom fireworks.
Mm-hmm. I got to get American flags.
You got to buy Black Panther. You got to buy snakes, and you got to buy sparklers.
A lot of stuff. That has. This is fucking American. Get some hot dogs.
I mean, that's completely
Nathan's only.
I'm gonna go to a race. I'm gonna go to an amusement park. Water park.
Bet the Joey Jaw's over. They're doing it inside in air conditioning. He's ready to fucking break a record.
Is this gonna break? No humidity. Huge factor here.
He's never had such great conditions. to pull off an American feat.
I heard that
Hammer the over.
Barstool's doing a hot dog contest and Kobayashi's going to be there. So maybe Kobayashi will do his in air conditioning and we might get a little.
He'll still lose by 20.
Jeremy doesn't like. Jeremy said I don't have a good Southern accent.
You don't.
I don't. Is it bad?
No, it's not good.
Yeah.
Is it really obvious?
Definitely
I'm
have
not.
not picked it up since you've been there.
Yeah. I'm not good at that. I really have no accent from anywhere. No one's really ever to tell where I'm from. So I could maybe I should develop one. Where should I try?
You're not from anywhere. I don't know. You spend a lot of time in Kuala Lumpur or whatever. So
you should do a Manila accent.
I've never been to Kuala Lumpur, so I haven't spent that much time there.
I forgot the name of the city.
The country, and it's called Singapore.
Oh yes. You went to Malaysia. I thought you hung out there for a bit.
No, I've been to Manila. Maybe that's
Manila. I was thinking of Manila.
Oh, they're all the same. Racist.
I had my Emmett mixed up. Yeah.
Jeremy, you seeing this?
Old man. Jeez.
Manila, Malaysia.
I didn't know my Southern accent was so bad. I thought I'd nail it. No,
you don't.
I live in Tennessee. There's people with accents everywhere.
I feel like
Definitely
I do
not
better.
picking that up. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So I should drop.
Yes.
Don't try it, Lance.
No, you keep doing it. It's
because I do it all the time.
It's not good.
Wake up, America!
People are laughing at you behind your back, Lance.
Yeah.
We're laughing at you right in your face.
I think it's a positive that I don't have a good Southern accent. I think that actually puts me up a few levels. That
you can't do a West accent?
I'm so educated that I can't even fake it.
You can't even do West's accent.
Can't do it.
That makes no sense.
So I have to lean somewhere. Where does my accent lean? Which region are we?
You don't want to hear about Murray DeGao?
Who?
What about your Boston?
Boston. I did live outside of Boston for 9 months, so maybe I should turn to that.
Pick that shit up.
Yeah, we could do that. I'll work on it. Get a hot dog, a coffee, go to the park, go to the bar.
He overrated.
That's better than your Southern accent.
A little better?
Way
A little better?
than Southern.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's no Jeremy Renner in the town, so whatever.
Jeremy Renner, good looking man.
Yeah,
Have you heard his music?
Oh yeah, that's right.
All right, I've had enough of you guys for the day.
That's fair.
Take us out, Jay.
That does it. Hopefully we get a win this week. We got to get back on the draw. We got to get back on the board. And then if we win this week and we win in 2 weeks, we're on a winning streak. And that's important. That's it. We'll see you next time. Enjoy the fight.